I used to be Mickey Mouse. Not the real one, obviously. Just the guy inside the costume at Disney World. 8-hour shifts. Florida heat. Kids pulling my tail. Parents shoving cameras in my face. I quit after 5 years. Couldn't stand the silence inside that head anymore. On my last night, after the fireworks faded and the park emptied, I walked out to parking lot G, the cast member lot no one ever used anymore. That's where I saw the box. It was sitting beside my car, perfectly centered behind it, like it had been placed there for me. A large cardboard box, taped shut, with a faded Mickey glove stamped on the side in black ink. Inside were VHS tapes and DVDs, handwritten labels. Steamboat Willie, alt-cut Mickey's Trailer, Reel 3 Mickey Mouse, Clubhouse, Master Discs Do Not Duplicate Archive, never aired. I should have turned it in. I didn't. Tape 1. When I got home, I slid the first VHS into my VCR. Steamboat Willie, black and white. Grainy. Perfect. Mickey whistled. The boat rocked. Minnie smiled. Everything was normal. Too normal. Cleaner than any version I'd ever seen. But there was no music. Just the sound of water and a faint breathing noise beneath it. When Mickey turned the wheel, his eyes lingered a second too long, staring directly at the screen. At me. Then the tape ended. DVD 2. Mickey's Trailer. Alt-cut. Color this time. The cartoon played as expected, until Goofy laughed. His laugh didn't stop. The animation froze except for his mouth, stretching wider and wider, tearing at the edges like wet paper. The sound slowed, dropping into something wet and animal-like. Mickey turned around. His smile didn't reach his eyes. They were hollow, black pits that swallowed the color around them. The screen cut to black, and white text appeared. He's still in the suit. The Clubhouse discs. That's when I made the mistake of opening the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse DVDs. The menu loaded normally. M-I-C-K-E-Y. The song distorted halfway through, the letters dragging, melting into static. The episode began cheerful and bright, but something was wrong with the colors. Too saturated, too red. Mickey spoke, but his voice wasn't friendly, it was layered. 3 voices overlapping, one high and cheerful, one low and whispering, and one that sounded like something choking. Goofy's body twisted unnaturally, joints bending backward. Donald's beak split open down the middle, revealing rows of human teeth clicking together. Pluto wasn't there. Instead, something crawled in his place, low to the ground, skinless, eyes glowing white. Mickey turned to the camera. "You remember how it feels, don't you?" he said. My chest tightened. Because I did. The heat, the sweat, the darkness inside the costume head. The final tape. The last VHS had no label. When I played it, the screen showed backstage footage, a dressing room, a Mickey costume hanging on a hook. The camera moved closer and closer until the head turned on its own. Inside were eyes. Human eyes. My eyes. The costume smiled wider than it should have. The tape cut out, but my TV didn't turn off. Instead, I heard the familiar, cheerful voice echo through my living room. "Oh boy, time to come back to work." I smelled rubber, sweat, old fabric, and behind me, something heavy shifted. Epilogue. The box is gone now. So is my Mickey costume. Disney says there are no missing tapes, no alternate cuts, no archives like that. But sometimes, late at night, my TV turns on by itself. The Clubhouse loads, and Mickey waits, smiling, empty-eyed, like he's still wearing someone inside. I used to be Mickey, not the cartoon, not the symbol, the suit. For 5 years, I worked inside the Mickey Mouse mascot at Walt Disney World. I knew every hallway, every underground tunnel, every backstage door the guests were never meant to see. When I quit, I told myself I'd never come back. That was 5 years ago. In 2026, curiosity won. Disney World had been shut down suddenly. No announcement, no press release, just silence. The gates were locked, the website frozen in time. Rumors spread online, lawsuits, evacuations, accidents that were handled internally. None of it made sense. So I came back. This time, I didn't come alone. There were 4 of us, me, Jason, Mark, and Olivia. We parked outside the rusting gates at night and slipped in through a service entrance I remembered from my mascot days. The park was wrong, not ruined, not destroyed, just abandoned. Music speakers still hung from lampposts, gently swaying. Animatronics stood frozen mid-performance, their smiles cracked and peeling. The smell was the worst part. Old plastic, mold, and something faintly metallic. We laughed at first. Nervous laughter. Exploration energy. That didn't last. We eventually reached a building I hadn't thought about in years. The mascot storage and maintenance wing. The place where costumes were cleaned, repaired, and sometimes quietly retired. Inside, the lights flickered to life on their own. Rows and rows of costumes stood upright, mounted on hooks like hanging bodies. Mickeys, Goofies, Donalds, characters that hadn't been seen in decades. That's where we split up. Jason and Olivia went down the left hall. Mark took the right. I stayed behind, drawn to a familiar door at the back. I knew that room. Inside, the air was thick and wet. A goofy mascot sat slumped against the wall, its mouth torn open, dark stains crusted around the fabric. One of its eyes dangled by a wire, gently tapping the floor, and beside it, a Mickey Mouse suit. My suit. I recognized the tiny tear on the glove, the faded autograph inside the head. Edward, 2021. I don't remember picking it up. I don't remember deciding. I only remember putting it on. It fit perfectly, like it never wanted to be left behind. I walked back out to find my friends. The halls were silent now, too silent. I followed the sounds, wet footsteps, something dragging, until I reached the central costume room. They were there. Jason, Mark, Olivia, gutted, hollowed out, their bodies arranged upright, like costumes with the people removed. Their faces were frozen in expressions of terror I'll never forget. That's when I heard the movement. The costumes behind me shifted. Fabric tightened. Heads turned. Smiles stretched wider than they were designed to. Their eyes glowed through mesh and plastic, burning red and yellow like coals. They weren't mascots anymore. They were hell versions of themselves. Limbs too long, mouths splitting open, voices overlapping in distorted versions of cheerful catchphrases. Oh boy! Gosh! Welcome home! They chased me. I ran through the park, past broken rides and silent parades, my oversized feet slapping against concrete. I didn't dare remove the suit. Somehow, I knew it was the only reason they weren't tearing me apart. I reached my car and slammed the door shut as they stopped at the edge of the parking lot. They didn't follow. They just waved. I never went back. But the suit never came off. To this day, I still wear the Mickey mascot costume. Birthday parties, circus games, small events. People say I'm too good at it, that my movements feel real, that the smile looks live. Sometimes, when I'm alone, I hear music, and sometimes I feel something inside the suit smiling back.